it is Susie, and I hope everybody's doing well. I wanted to do a quick little, well, I don't know if it'll be quick. I say quick little tutorial, but it shouldn't be too fairly long, on how I made some expandable pockets or pouches. These are nothing new, and there are a bunch of these all over the internet, but I was getting ready to finish up my swap for over at Sophie's Notes. We are having our second quarter Builder Journal swap come on right now, and so we are doing 3 projects, and it's always a different project every quarter, and with an insert page for a journal. So I just thought I'd turn on the camera and show you how I put together these really quick and easy little paper bag pouches is what they are. And here are a couple, and we are going to work on the third one together. This one here I've just tied with some seam binding, but the expandable is simply the expandable pockets where you have different pockets. Now I've only filled up 4 of these pockets, and I put goodies in each one for my swap partner there, and I will kind of show you in the one we make when I fill it what I have in it. But anyway, there is that one, and this one here I will have to, if I can find it. This is an old digital. I don't even remember whose shop it was I got it out of. I might be able to go back in my purchases and find that, but I will try to find that and link that if you're interested. It's just a cute little coffee digital, and I'll kind of show you. Let's see what I've done with them here. I'll show you my this is my insert page. Each one of us make an 8.5 by 11 folded paper, and we decorate 2 sides. This I kind of decorated an extra there, but this is the coffee digital, and it's so very cute. And anyway, and this is the other one. This is, I did it a kind of a beach theme there, and I'll show you the little expandable pocket on it. But what they get in the swap is they get an insert page and a expandable pocket / pouch. So this one here is the one that I did in the beach theme, and there is the expandable pocket where I've put some goodies in the, and I also put a little booklet. There's a booklet included in them. So anyway, just some fun little ideas there. Also, if you just, if you do a lot of swaps and need an idea for a swap, this is kind of a fun one, and it's an easy one as well. So what I took was, I took 4 of the large grocery bags like you can get at Walmart. I know most grocery stores have them as well. But anyway, they're really inexpensive, and so you'll need 4 of those is what you will need. And what I do is, because paper bags seem to always have bad ones, you always have bad bags. They'll either be really crunched here, or they'll have the kind of dogged edges here. Those are the ones that I cut up. So what you'll do is you'll cut 3 of them, and I leave this right here. I do not take it off. But what I do is I just take these and I try to cut them the same size. And most of the time I just judge it by the bin there. Or you can literally measure, maybe take 4 1/4 off each end. And then just cut each bag like that. And then, there is that. And maybe you can, figure out something to do with that scrap. But then you will just take, and I put this to the outside. It's really not going to matter where you put it, but anyway, just fold it in half. Okay, so you'll want to take 3 of those and do them exactly the same. And then I sew each one individually And here's some I already have ready. I sew each individually in the center, but you can also glue this. And what I did, and I did do one this way before I sewed it on my swap, you can just take this, get you a bead of glue, and get this, get you a bead of glue. Probably the easiest way to go ahead and do a little bit of glue on the inside is just find that crease and then press it down. And just do it partial, because then it's still going to hold anyway. So, anyway, that's pretty easy whether you sew or not. So you'll need 3 of those cut same length. And then because paper bags always seem to have splits on them for some reason, they always do. I just took some age tape and fixed the tears. I think there's a tear there I didn't get. So let's get that little tear right there. I just always keep a little of this on hand, already made up, because I use it quite often. Do it on some wax paper, then you will be okay. You know, it'll come off. It won't stay stuck to it. Or freezer paper, if you do it on the shiny side of the freezer paper, that too will work. And I see a big split there. So I just take it. You could also use masking tape. It all, when you do kind of that with the brown tones and things, you just it all blends in together anyway, and you won't see much of that, honestly. Okay, so once you have your 3 ready, then what you want to do is just simply take, now I do each one, I keep this to the left side or the right side, but I keep them all on the same side, okay? And then all you need to do is take, and I take glue, but you could use your sticky strip or anything else. And what I do is I just kind of eyeball. I know that this is center, okay? So if you just kind of eyeball, and I make about 1 inch with my glue. I just make about 1 inch worth of, or maybe a little over, but around 1 inch. And just take these 2 and make sure you got them a little bit even there, evenly going together, and just press them, okay? And I'm going to kind of get that glue off of there so it doesn't stick. And just kind of press it down so that it gets nice and stuck. Now this is a pretty quick drying glue, so it won't take it long to dry. But there's your first little expandable pouch there. Okay, and then I do the same thing. I know that my little thing is just right here, so just eyeballing, and I'm just going to do it about 1 inch. And I wouldn't scrape too much on the glue because you really do want it to hold. If you get too thin, it's not gonna hold. So you're just pressing those together. So now my 2 bags are completely together. So, whoops. And I see this here, and I do want that covered. So I may have to go a little more than 1 inch. I don't want that flipped open there. So we're gonna make sure that is caught. And this one here looks caught. So, okay. So just kind of get those dry. Let them dry a bit. Get them pressed down. Okay. So then I'm going to take, and if I have any of these little lips that are coming up in the back from the fold of the, I just glue it down from the fold of the bag where it's been manufactured. I take it and I glue them down. Okay, and then I'm going to take my 3rd bag and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to take it and I'm going to kind of run like this because I know that I don't want that glue because of my little fold there. And you could always glue on your fold on your little notch side. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just kind of line this up evenly. Okay. Guess I'm going to have to kind of go this way. since I have the little edge, and I just line them up evenly best I can. You know, it doesn't really matter if you get perfect because nobody's ever gonna see it. I mean, that's just, even when it expands out, you won't be able to tell. So, and then this will be our last little glue here for putting these 3 together. Super simple, super simple. Okay, and then just get that put together and just be sure and try to pull them apart because sometimes that glue wants to stick. Okay, oh, we got to put this one together. You need to make sure all your sides are glued. Okay, all right. So there's our first bag, here's our second bag, here's our third, 4, 5, and 6. 6 sides, 3 bags. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now to get it in your cover, okay, what we want to do is, what I do is I just make sure, and this is how I measure. I don't measure any other way. I just take this and make sure that I'm covering this part of the bags, okay? And just give it a crease. Because I want that to set right there when I glue this down. So I want to get this all glued down. I want that flap gone. And I want this gone as well, so I'm just going to put a little glue in there, a little glue on my flaps there, and we want to get that glued down. Alright, so then if you want to go in here and catch these, you can. I usually just give it all a good glue down. Alright, so then we're going to take it, and we've got our little fold there where we know we want our pockets are right there. And then what I do is I just take my glue on this side, make sure I get my little thumb nail, or my thumb cut, I guess is what they call it, good and glued. And then I'm going to make sure I'm lined up here and here. Now I have noticed on bags that sometimes you will stick out a little bit, even though they should be the same width, but I don't worry about it. It's not enough that it's going to be noticeable anyway. All right, and then here is your bag attached to your cover. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing back here. We're going to take this and we're just going to run us some glue, and I just kind of eyeball it. Just kind of get it where you know your center's at. And then we're going to take it and we're going to get that attached down. So there's really no measuring, you know, unless you're going to measure your bags where to cut it. And there's just not a lot to these. Okay, and there will be your expandable part right there. That's how easy it is to get these together. With your paper bags. And I leave these just open. I don't glue those little flaps down so that it gets nice and expanded. So you know, also you can use the little bags, the little lunch bags, if you don't want a big one. These are great for Happy Mail. Then what I do is I don't want to crease it. I mean, I don't want to cover it because I'm going to put a small eyelet in. And what I do is I make a little crease there where I can see it, but I want about a ½ inch maybe. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball a ½ inch so that when my pocket is expanding, I mean, it can have that extra. For as it gets full, you know, it will have the little bit of extra room there. So I've got it about a ½ inch, because there's my crease, and then I make about a ½ inch crease there, And then I have that little bitty crease cut in the middle, so it'll just kind of, so that it kind of bends with the thing. So what I'm going to go by when I put my paper on to decorate this is this right here. You know, my first little crease line. All right, so I have everything ready to put that on. So this is that paper. This is just so adorable, and like I said, I will get that linked in the description box if I can find it. There's the little bird there, and then here is this here. And so I made this for the front, but I may have to switch it out now. Okay, because I've got that creased a little small. So this is what I just centered it up. I did not worry. I'll ink all around the edges there. Now I'm not going to leave all these strings on. I'm just going to leave my front string on. And I may even cut it a little shorter. Okay, and I'm going to get that glued on there. Just like that. Okay. These are just like I said. Oops, you know what? I think I want to ink that up. I did not ink those. And I will probably shut the camera off and get these others inked real quick so that we don't have to play that through the video. So, okay, so I'm going to get this on right here, and I'm just going to kind of look at it and try to get it centered up the same on both ends there. Okay. And we are going to get this right there where that crease is. Okay, I think that... All right. Let me get me a paper towel here. I've learned just to keep paper towels close at hand. Alright, so there's our little front. Now what I want to do as well, while I'm thinking about it, is I am going to grab my ruler and find... Okay, so this is about a 6, so 3 is going to be my... And you know, I think I'm going to drop that down a little bit under, actually, so that my bird isn't covered. Now, on my other one, I just covered my bird. So, I think I'm going to drop it down just... It'll be off center, but I think that's what I want. So, alright. So, I will mark that where I'm going to make my hole for my eyelet. Okay, so then, this here... And this will be a little bit over, but it can just crease. It can crease with the I want to put this one on first though, because I want to make sure I get it. I want this to be looking like it's the same across, and so if I put the other one on, I'll probably get it off. And I want it to just be all the same, so that way I can come over here and eyeball it, you know, the same. So, alright, so what I'm going to do is get this inked up. Oh, yep, I do want to ink it up. My brain is not functioning today. I said I was going to ink the rest of this up off camera, but alright. I do want it a little inked. Okay, now let's get our glue on. Okay. A little. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, let's see, that goes that way. So I want to, when I put this on, make sure I've got it the same. Okay, that looks about right. So I'm just going to kind of scoot it over. Yep. Okay. And I want this to come over. And this is why I like to use glue on something like this, because that way if I need to pick it up before it dries, I can and adjust it. So, and I can see that that looks really off there. Alright. Alright, so when I put this together, okay, now they look like, you know, they're the same height. Alright, so now we can go ahead and I'm going to cut these off. Okay, so let's get this stuck down now. Okay. I just love the colors in this paper. And I just kind of want to eyeball and make sure that I'm getting them pretty straight across from each other. And it looks like it might need to shove down a little bit. Alright. So I want to be sure that this is good and glued here, because what's going to happen is it's going to end up bending when this expands out a little bit more. It'll end up bending right there. So you want to make sure that that side is glued nice and well. Alright, so then we're going to get the back. Let's get those strings cut off, and I did ink this up, so. Okay. Alright, so let's get us some glue on there. Alright. And once again, just kind of looking to see that I have got these kind of going at the same height again. Alright, I like the way that looks. Okay, so there is all the decorating that I do in this. So I'm going to give this a minute to dry before I poke that hole there, but we will poke the hole, we will get the eyelet in, and I'm going to ink around this bag real good off camera. And then we'll get the eyelet in, and I will put the little goodies in, and that will be it. We'll get our seam binding put in, and it's that easy, guys, that easy. So okay, so I got that bag all inked up and distressed around, so it kind of just darkens the edges and darkens the bag, which I like. Okay, so we are ready to get this eyelet put in, and I think I'm going to use the little, yeah, I better use the big. I'll end up having to make a bigger hole if not. Okay, so I've got my little thing marked, and I kind of got it under the bird this time. Now I'm using like a dull black little eyelet. And when you put your eyelet in, just make sure that you're leaving some space so that it doesn't kind of fall out on you there. Okay, so there's my eyelets in, and I'm going to fill this up with some goodies that I have. These are some little things that come from the Hopeful Bird, so I have those. I have an old bingo card, a vintage bingo card going in here. I have some S&H green stamps and some old ledger paper they can use for collage. I'm going to put in there, and here is my my little booklet that I've got in here. And it looks like I need to put something else in there. I'm not sure what. I like to fill up, there's no bridge paper. I'd like to fill up with 4, so I'll have to look for something else to get in there. But alright, so there is that. And like I said, I will probably find, oh, there's my other thing. I thought I had 4, but okay, so here's my 4th one, and it is a couple. Now I did just make these by hand. They're really simple to make, and I might show you at the end of this video if you want to see how I made these. I will. I mean, you know, just the little like a little file folder card by hand. you can stick around, and I will do that at the end of the video. So here is just, these are just some little die cuts. So I think I'm going to put the die cuts on the back side. All right, and they will fit in. So I have filled up 3 pockets in, or 4 pockets in each of my swaps with a little goodies there. All right, so then I want to get my seam binding, and I'm using, I believe this is chocolate, yeah, chocolate brown. It's not black, and I'm just going to grab, I didn't measure, I'm just going to grab just enough that I know I can wrap it a couple of times. All right, so I am just putting one end through the eyelet, okay, and then I'm going to leave enough that I can do the bow. I'm wrapping this side a couple of times instead of going in and having to wrap both sides. I just take one side, leave it longer, and then I want to get it a little tight. I don't want it too loose. And just tie you a little bow, and then cut off your little excess there. And there is your little expandable pouch or pocket. So it's that easy, that super easy. Okay, so let me gather some things and I will show you how to make a file folder easy peasy by hand. Alright, so here is the little file folder if you want to just make one yourself. I just grabbed a piece of cardstock. You can make it out of paper, cardstock, just whatever you want. This is just like a lightweight cardstock. It's not a heavy cardstock. So, okay, so what I want to do is I just determine how big I want my file folder to be. The width being from here to here, because that's what I'm going to use when I cut. So I just kind of say that, you know, I want my file folder to be about this width. Alright, so then what I do is I'm going to get how wide I want it. Okay, I'm going to cut, this is how wide I want it. And then all I do is take and cut, you know, a little bit. This is about a 1/4 inch. Maybe go, what, 3/8 inch maybe. And I just cut it up to a certain point. Okay, can you see how I did that? I just, because I want that to be a straight line, and that's why I do that. So then I take my scissors and I just round off a little bit, and I usually work at this a little bit to get it just how I want it. And then I take my scissors over here and I just kind of swoop and if I don't think that I've went far enough to where my line is, I just do a little more so it kind of looks like it's even. And then if you'll also take this and see how I've got just that little tiny tad in there, and I rip it off or cut it off, it makes it kind of straight. And that's the file folder. That's as simple as it is right there. You can make your own. So that's kind of my template. So when I want to make another one, all I do is I place it on my paper evenly there, and then I take my little pencil and I mark where so I can get an even cut. Okay, and I just kind of mark a little bit there. And I guess I should mark let's mark the top of my cut. And just give yourself a little mark. And if you want to just draw it all the way around, you can. Okay, and that just gives me a template for my other one. I just come and cut it up. Cut that there, and then I see my little mark right here. Okay, and I want to go to there, so I'm just going to put it in the cutter. Okay, and I'm just, okay, and I am there, so there is that. I take my scissors and just begin to make that little round corner. And then I come in here and I'm going to cut off that little round corner. And then if I have any pencil marks showing, I just simply erase it. So there is your other, and also I think on some of them I even took this, and you can use a corner rounder, but I even rounded that little corner right there. I just take my scissors and round it off a little bit. And there you go. There's your handmade little file folder cards. So anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this little tutorial, and I hope that you get a chance to try it. Anyway, have a good day, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.